The area of underwater forests is larger than we thought. Some of us probably don't realize it, but we can also find forests under the surface of the oceans. Of course, not in the classical sense of the word. Nevertheless, their total area is also impressive. And just like the forests we know, underwater ones provide shelter for many creatures. Hidden under the water are seaweed forests that cover huge areas. Many of them are even unnamed, but they are home to a huge number of marine species. Scientists from the University of Western Australia attempted to estimate the total area they occupy. According to the results of their analyses, underwater forests cover an area twice the size of India. Of course, underwater forests do not grow trees, and especially seaweed. These forests can be found almost all over the world. For example, off the coast of southern Africa there is the Great African Maritime Forest, and Australia has the Great Barrier Reef. However, there are definitely more of them, and only a few have been named. The results of the latest research indicate that they cover a total area twice the size of India. In some ways, marine forests are similar to terrestrial forests. To function, seaweed also needs sunlight and carbon dioxide, which they need for photosynthesis. Some of them, such as sea bamboos, Eclonia maxima, create canopies floating in the water because they contain elements filled with gas. While determining the area of traditional forests using satellites is relatively easy. In the context of marine forests they are not useful. Therefore, to determine the area they occupy, scientists reviewed available scientific studies on them and, based on the compiled data, modeled the distribution of these forests. They have been estimated to cover an area of 6 to 7.2 million square kilometers. That's more than the area of the Amazon. Data on the growth rate of the plants that make up these forests were also taken into account. The benefits for humans from their existence are diverse. First of all, they remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The question of how much carbon dioxide could be sequestered as a result is currently under investigation. Moreover, according to some scientists, underwater farms could complement land-based food production. Unfortunately, nowadays marine forests are also increasingly exposed to the negative effects of human activity. This is primarily related to global warming caused by anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions. Both the excess heat and the gases themselves are also absorbed by the oceans. This is already affecting the surface of marine forests and, consequently, their ability to sequester carbon dioxide. As a consequence, the scale of the problem only increases. Recently, the area of underwater forests off the coast of Australia, as well as eastern Canada and California, has decreased. On the other hand, we can expect that as the oceans warm and glaciers melt, marine forests may spread to areas previously hostile to them, such as the Arctic. However, as humans, we should take into account their role both for the ecosystem and for us, and therefore ensure their appropriate protection. A supercontinent will form on Earth again. Amazia. New research has shown that in 200 to 300 million years, when the Pacific Ocean will cease to exist, the supercontinent Amazia will most likely form. In their analyses, scientists used a supercomputer to simulate the formation of new land. Some readers are probably familiar with the name Pangaea. This supercontinent 200 to 300 million years ago combined almost all the land masses on our planet. According to scientists, things on Earth are currently heading in a similar direction. According to them, in another 200 to 300 million years our planet will again have a supercontinent, Amazia. New discoveries by scientists from Curtin University, published in the National Science Review, provide insight into what will happen to Earth in the next few hundred million years. The formation of supercontinents on Earth appears to be cyclical. At least this has been the case for the last 2 billion years, when the continents on our planet merged approximately every 600 million years. This process has even been given a specific name. It is known as the supercontinent cycle, also called the Wilson cycle. Recently, research has been carried out indicating that another supercontinent may form on Earth again. For their purposes, the computing power of a supercomputer was used. They showed that the next merger of all continents will take place in about 300 million years. However, the question arises where such a new supercontinent would arise. Scientists point to the Pacific Ocean here. The Pacific itself is the remnant of a superocean that was called Panthalassa. The Pacific Ocean we know today began to form about 700 million years ago. It was then that the last supercontinent, Pangaea, began to break apart. The largest ocean on Earth is also the oldest body of water of this type. Both the Atlantic and Indian Oceans are younger than it. Why do scientists believe that the Pacific Ocean will be the place where a new supercontinent will form? It is known that over time, for billions of years, the Earth has been cooling. At the same time, the thickness and strength of the plates under the oceans are decreasing over time. Researchers therefore conclude that it would be much easier for the Earth to close an older ocean, such as the Pacific, than its younger counterparts. In fact, our largest ocean is constantly shrinking in size and has been doing so since the time when dinosaurs lived on Earth. It is currently estimated that the Pacific Ocean is shrinking by several centimeters per year. Following this line of reasoning, we come to the conclusion that starting from the current width of approximately 10,000 kilometers, at its widest point it is almost twice as much. Its complete closure should take from 200 to 300 million years. And that's when a new supercontinent would be born. Due to the place where it would be built, a potential name was found for it: Amazia. Because the clash between Asia and America would be key here, a quite significant role has also been planned for Australia, because it will be the first to fall into Asia, later becoming a link between this continent and America. How will the earthly world change when Amazia arises? In short, it can be said that significantly. This fact will have a huge impact on the entire ecosystem existing on Earth. Scientists expect water levels in the new superocean to be lower than they are now. The climate will also change dramatically, and temperature fluctuations between day and night will be significant. In general, most of the surface of the new supercontinent will be extremely dry. Adapting to these new conditions will be a challenge for every species living on Earth. Power supply and control of LED strips. LED strips are one of the easiest ways to create a lighting installation, both if we need decorative lighting and to illuminate a work surface, e.g., in a home workshop or kitchen. In order for LED strip lighting to work, it is necessary to purchase an appropriate power supply with a built-in control system. Unlike traditional light sources, which include, among others, incandescent bulbs, e.g. tungsten, the requirements for the power source for LED lighting are completely different. Although LED lighting has many advantages, mainly due to energy efficiency, durability and stable output parameters, it also requires a more advanced power supply that will provide constant voltage at the output, filtered from interference. The stability of the power supply parameters for LEDs is also aimed at maintaining the constant operating temperature to prevent them from overheating, which could lead to incorrect functioning and, ultimately, damage to the lighting. The main task of the LED driver is to provide electricity to individual LEDs or LED strips. The standard driver design supplies constant voltage to the LEDs, e.g., 12 volts or 24 volts, as a result of conversion from the mains voltage, which has an alternating wave. Modern LED power systems can operate in a wide range of input voltages, even from 100 volts to 240 volts. Such a controller also has the necessary protections that protect LEDs against short circuits, electrical and thermal overloads, and overvoltages. Although the purpose of using power supplies and drivers for LEDs is to provide the electrical energy necessary to light them, we distinguish between constant voltage and constant current drivers. In most cases, they cannot be used interchangeably and must be selected according to the specific nature of the lamp's hardware. Typically, constant voltage power supplies supply constant voltage. LED lamps powered by this voltage usually have a built-in current stabilizer. However, constant current power supplies have a built-in current stabilization system and are dedicated primarily to lighting that does not have a built-in current stabilizer. To understand the principle of operation of constant voltage and constant current power supplies, you should pay attention to how the LEDs are connected in a chain. Typically, series and parallel connections are used. In a series connection, the connections between the diodes are made between the anode and the cathode. In a parallel connection, the anodes of individual diodes are connected to the anodes, and the cathodes, to the cathodes. In a series connection, The same current flows through each diode. When selecting a DC power supply, you should take into account the total voltage drop across all diodes. For example, if each LED in a 20 LED chain needs 2 volts to light, it is necessary to supply 40 volts. However, when connected in parallel, LED chains can be combined into matrix systems. This is a very good solution when the power supply has one or more. Although insufficient number of outputs, then we can connect several LED strings to a single DC output. To obtain a uniform lighting effect, pay attention to the maximum output current efficiency to cover the energy demand of all LED strips. Although the purpose of using power supplies and drivers for LEDs is to provide the electrical energy necessary to light them, we distinguish between constant voltage and constant current drivers. In most cases, they cannot be used interchangeably and must be selected according to the specific nature of the lamp's hardware. Typically, constant voltage power supplies supply constant voltage. LED lamps powered by this voltage usually have a built-in current stabilizer. However, constant current power supplies have a built-in current stabilization system and are dedicated primarily to lighting that does not have a built-in current stabilizer. To understand the principle of operation of constant voltage and constant current power supplies, you should pay attention to how the LEDs are connected in a chain. Typically, series and parallel connections are used. In a series connection, the connections between the diodes are made between the anode and the cathode. In a parallel connection, the anodes of individual diodes are connected to the anodes, and the cathodes, to the cathodes. In a series connection, the same current flows through each diode. When selecting a DC power supply, you should take into account the total voltage drop across all diodes. For example, if each LED in a 20 LED chain needs 2 volts to light, it is necessary to supply 40 volts. However, when connected in parallel, LED chains can be combined into matrix systems. This is a very good solution when the power supply has one or more. Although insufficient number of outputs, then we can connect several LED strings to a single DC output. To obtain a uniform lighting effect, pay attention to the maximum output current efficiency to cover the energy demand of all LED strips. The oldest sentence written in the early alphabet has been deciphered. In 2017, a 3,700-year-old ivory comb was discovered in Israel. Although the discovery was made 5 years ago, Canaanite inscriptions were only recently found on the artifact, which scientists believe contain what may be the oldest complete sentence written using the earliest known alphabet. Many ancient languages still remain a mystery to scientists. In the case of some, reading them turns out to be extremely difficult, in the case of others. The problem is finding enough words written in them. This applies, for example, to the Canaanite language. Until now, artifacts have been found with inscriptions consisting of 2 or 3 words. But in 2017 an ivory comb was found on which an entire sentence was written in Canaanite. The first alphabet is believed to have been developed by Semitic peoples around 1800 to 2000 BC. However, the early history of the alphabet is little known due to a lack of archaeological evidence. This state of affairs is changed by an inscription from a recently found comb. It shows that this alphabet was already in everyday use 3,700 years ago. The description and results of the research were published in the Jerusalem Journal of Archaeology. The Canaanite language remains one of the most mysterious ancient languages. This is due to the fact that we still know very little about it. So far, only a few words written in it have been found in Israel. In this context, the last discovery is particularly important. It is a comb dating back approximately 3,700 years. It was made of ivory, which was quite an expensive material back then. Usually, combs were made of wood or ordinary bones. The Canaanites must have imported those made of ivory, probably from Egypt. This comb was found at Telephone Lachish, where the ancient Canaanite city of Lachish was located. Researchers from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem and the American Southern Adventist University contributed to this. This happened several years ago, in 2017. The comb is small. Its dimensions are only 3.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. In its original state, there were teeth on both sides of it. Although their base is still visible, they were all broken in ancient times. On one side of it there were 6 thicker teeth that were used to untangle hair. On the other side, there were 14 teeth, but they were smaller. Their purpose, in turn, was to remove lice and their eggs. However, what is most important is what is on the comb. It is a complete sentence written in Canaanite, which is a kind of wish regarding the effectiveness of the comb in the fight against lice. The inscription itself was read by Dr. Daniel Vainstub from Ben-Gurion University. At first, however, she was not even noticed. It was noticed only in 2022 during subsequent research. The inscription is shallow and the surface of the comb was quite worn, probably as a result of frequent use. In addition, the letters themselves were not very large, because their width ranged from 1 to 3 millimeters. In total, the inscription consists of 17 Canaanite letters, which in turn form 7 words. This inscription can be translated as, "May this fang remove lice from your hair and beard." It should be emphasized that this is the first complete sentence written in this language found in Israel. Additionally, this sentence is unique for another reason, because it refers directly to the purpose of a given item, and not, for example, to its owner. Both this sentence and the design of the comb show that even people from the upper classes of the time, who could afford to use combs made of such expensive material, had problems with lice. This is also confirmed by research by scientists who looked at the comb under a microscope. And it turned out that tiny, 0.5 to 0.6 millimeters, remnants of lice were found on the second tooth, which only confirms that the ancient engraver wrote the truth on the comb.